Check this out.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Countdown is go at T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. Here's your host, Tim Scott.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Yes, this is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. I am joined today, again, by my lovely wife, Dawn. I love these kind of shows.
I do too. They're fun.
They're a lot of fun. This is a show you wanted to talk about.
I did. I just thought there was some things that we left out of the show when we talked with Stephen and Emily.
Yes.
That are changes from when we were last there in March that are kind of important changes
Yes.
that probably some people might need to know about if they're heading down there soon.
Yes. Because we hinted at it. I'd like to start off with, if you don't mind, the whole Genie Plus.
Yes, I think
experience.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. Because we were there for 4 days, and we had to decide, did we want to get Genie Plus at all,
Right.
or just for some days? And we opted to, and since we didn't actually, little backstory, didn't really do a package, we had to do it every day. We had to add it on to our tickets, which wasn't hard. You just had to remember to do that before 7 a.m.
Right.
before you wanted to, maybe get any kind of lightning lane access.
Right.
So every morning, we paid for everybody.
Yes.
So we had 5 tickets, $15 each day, so it was $60 a day.
Right. Well worth it, I might add.
I was just going to ask, before we go any further, would you call this worth it?
Yes. But that being said, I don't like that we now have to pay for what was essentially the fast pass system before.
I totally concur.
I think that is just money gouging on a whole new level. I know that other theme parks do it.
Right.
But that doesn't mean Disney has to do it. Disney has always set themselves apart from other theme parks in many, many good ways. And now I feel like they're falling into the
Yes.
the not good parts of other theme parks.
I've utilized this term. I don't know if you caught it on the show. I've done it a couple times, but years ago. You've just universaled my Disney experience.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is.
So, or
And-
you've Cedar Faired my Disney experience.
Exactly. And I think this is a low for Disney. I really, truly do. Because families are already spending so much money. And when Fast Pass came out, they touted, yeah, these other theme parks, they charge you for this stuff. Disney's not going to do that. Disney's going to help you have a great experience, skip some of the lines so that you can enjoy the parks more. But we're not going to charge you for it.
Right.
And here we are being charged for it.
Well, I think we all knew, because years ago there were rumors that they were going to do this, but they took the COVID-tunity
Yes.
a word I also
It's
came up
definitely
with
a COVID-tunity for them.
to do this, as well as theme park reservations, which I'm not a fan of, and I kind of understand what they're doing.
Right.
I don't like it, and I'm not totally positive that Disney has some of the best number crunchers in the business. They know how many people are going to show up at a park in a day.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I don't know. I just hope that when, they rethink things, get together, have their big meetings, whatever they do, that they'll take a listen to a lot of the people. And, because we've said before, they are really taking away that middle class family vacation because they can't afford it.
yes, you're not going every 2 or 3 years. Now you're going to be lucky to go every 4 or 5 years.
Exactly.
And for a lot of people, it'll be one and done.
Exactly. And that's was not Walt's vision. If you've read any of his books, it's not his vision.
Right.
He wanted it to be accessible, to have a place to go have fun with your children and enjoy the rides with your children. And, that's great. And there's other places that you can go to do things and experience things with your kids.
Right, of course.
But, Walt Disney World is so much fun. And I just hope that some of the things that they have taken away, they bring back, and some of the things that they have instituted, they take away because it's just not good business. It might be great for their bottom line and their executives making, millions, whatever. But, most people in America aren't millionaires. Most people in America just want to have a really fun vacation and say, hey, I took my kids to Disney World and this is where we made a lot of fun family memories. I mean, some of our best memories with the kids are at Disney World.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just, it's a place where you can have, multi-generations come together, family reunions, have a great time. But, sadly, they're now, going to be catering to the people that are the upper middle class,
Right.
not the middle or lower middle class.
Right.
It used to be, pretty much anybody could go to Disney, save a little bit, and, you have your great value resorts and, just regular standard tickets, and, you could go and have a great time. And now it's just not possible for many, many people, and that's sad.
Right, and you're not alone with that thought. I mean,
I know.
I think lots of other people are thinking it, but with the way the Disney executives are right now, I think this is how it's going to be until
I
there's some
hope
kind of
there's a
shake
change
up
in leadership, and
Yeah.
they can get back to what the true values of the Disney company have been for many, many years.
We will see, and I think it's going to be a year or two before we see any real kind of backlash because pent-up travel demand from everything that's gone on.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the 50th, so people are going to want to go
Sure.
there through the 50th, which is going to take us through to at least next October. So
Right.
after that, we'll see.
I kind of wonder what'll happen, but I don't know. But anyway, so
But that being said, it was kind of worth it.
well, yeah, it was, especially when you're doing a shorter trip like what we did,
That's
which is
one
4
of the
days in the
keys.
park. We opted for park hoppers this time, and I'm glad that we did. The last time we went in March, we were only in the parks 3 days, and we did not do park hoppers.
Right.
We just, because it was that was a super short trip. But this one was 4 days, and I just wanted the flexibility to be able to do some things. We wanted to go to Animal Kingdom. We had not been there for a while, but I knew I was not going to spend one whole day
Right,
at
of course.
Animal Kingdom. So that's why we decided to get park hoppers, but we used them. So
I still love the park hoppers.
I do, too.
I know you can save a lot of money by not going with the park hoppers.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy them so much.
I do too, because like I said before, my absolute favorite park at night is Magic Kingdom. It's just so magical the way it's lit. And I just love the Magic Kingdom at night. I
And I
really
love Epcot
truly
at night
do.
as well. So
Yeah. So it's nice to be able to have that flexibility.
It
But
is.
anyway, so the Genie Plus, we pay for the Lightning Lanes. It's $15 per person per day
yes, per ticket. Yeah.
to go. You can start making your first Lightning Lane reservation at 7 a.m. in the morning.
If you're a resort guest.
If
yes.
you're a resort guest.
Right.
So you have to make sure that, like us, we didn't have a package, so we were day by day with the Lightning Lane. So we had to make sure that you had that paid for before 7 a.m. that day. And then we were able to make our first reservation at 7 a.m. before we even got to the parks.
Yes.
So I really didn't deal with how to make the reservation, so I'll let you speak to that. But you said it was relatively easy to do.
It was very easy. You go to the My Disney Experience app. You go to My Disney Genie Day. And it will actually have your itinerary up there. And you scroll down. You could go to see what the different park options were. Mm-hmm. You can see what had Lightning Lane availability. And, as soon as you saw one you wanted to get, clicked on it. It said you wanted it for everybody in your party. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's what we normally did. We backed out of it a couple times, but that's what we did for the first ones to make sure everybody would go on the same time. And we were good then, and you could make another one either after you used your first Lightning Lane,
Right.
or 2 hours later.
Yes, that's important to note. That
You need to know that. Yes.
That let's say you picked a Lightning Lane for an extremely popular ride, and it wasn't available till 2 in the afternoon.
Yes.
And you made it at 7 in the morning or 7:15 in the morning. You could make another one at 9:15 for
Correct.
maybe a less popular ride, and you can do that one at 11, and then you can make another one and every 2 hours.
And then at that point, you're backing up your Lightning Lanes to later in the afternoon at this point. So you could get a lot of stuff done in the afternoon.
Oh, for sure. Especially because we are early morning people. And I'll hand it to Emily. She is not a morning person, but she was up and she was ready to go. Same with Mackenzie. Mackenzie is no longer a morning person. She
No.
used to be. But she got herself up. And
At Disney, she is.
Yes, she is. We got ourselves going and we got to the park. So we did talk on it a little bit that as of right now, for the dates that we were there, that resort guests could enter the parks an hour early for extra magic hours. And that was a huge perk for us because I don't know. There just didn't seem to be hardly anybody taking advantage of that early morning hour in any of the parks that
Not
we
a
went
lot.
to. It just was odd. And I think maybe it's because it's every park every day.
That could be. It's spread out from what it used to be.
That is nice too.
It is.
Before it was certain parks, certain days. Some days there were none of them. No parks had early entry, early morning hours, but it was every park every day was an hour ahead of time.
I was happy that they went from the 30 minutes early park time before the park opened to the 60 minutes.
Yes, for sure.
Because if you're at a resort and you're staying somewhere like, you're not on the Skyline, you're like at All-Star Music or somewhere like that, and you got to catch a bus.
Right.
And you miss the bus or the bus is full.
Yes.
You might just eat up that half hour you were hoping to
Right.
be in the parks early. So I was thrilled that they went to the 60 minutes.
Yes, for sure. So, but it was really nice. Like I said, I think it's because it's every park every day, and it's still under park reservations that, it just seemed really, really advantageous to
Yes.
go and to, so I guess that is a perk of staying on property, even though it was holiday dates and we paid a primo price for that.
We did.
But, I do like staying on property, but at the same time, if they keep upping the prices like that, if you look at, other places to stay outside of the property, I want to go again. Like we used to do 10-day, 2-week trips with the kids,
Yes.
and we really haven't been able to do that, recently, because of all the activities the kids are in. And
I was just talking to Mackenzie about that on the way back.
so, but I don't want to go 2 weeks in the summer. I just don't know that I can do summer anymore.
I think we could do it in the summer, but what we'd have to do is make sure either we're there early and
Yes.
you have to make sure you get out.
Yeah, I do. I
Or
I
go
don't
back
do
in the
heat
evening
well.
after the sun goes down.
Yes, like that is my favorite time to go.
It is.
So, but anyway, so we did not like paying for Lightning Lane, but we did like the convenience of Lightning Lane. But Genie also, you could get on and tell the wait times for certain rides.
Yes. That was nice.
We did measure that a little bit. A couple times we looked and we look at the posted time, which is the time that you would see on the Genie app, or the My Experience app and the Genie part. But there was sometimes when it's like, oh, the posted wait time's 40 minutes. That's not bad. We'd hop in line and it'd be like 20 minutes later, we'd
Yeah.
be through. So I think some of that is they used to have the little cards that you put around your neck, and then you would the first cast member would hand it to you, and then you would hand it to the other cast member, and that's how they updated their times. Now I think it's just kind of a estimation based on where the line is.
Maybe. I mean, they could be using magic bands. They could be using stuff
they
on the
could,
app.
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different things they could be doing. And there's questions out there whether if they're not accurate on purpose.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to think that
I know. I don't
of
either.
Disney. I wouldn't think that they would.
You would hope not.
I would hope not. But there are some rides that do not have Lightning Lane, like before they didn't have a Fast Pass lane. So there's not a Lightning Lane for them. One of those rides is Rise of the Resistance. And the other thing they did is they got rid of boarding groups for Rise of the Resistance, which I don't know why they got rid of boarding groups for that. Other than being incredibly stressful, like, am I going to get a group? Am I going to get a group?
Right.
Because we didn't get a group at 7 a.m., but we were lucky to get one at 1 p.m. when we went back in March.
Right.
So we were lucky to get a group. And I guess maybe they're trying to make that fair for everybody to, if you want to stand in line for 5 hours, stand in line for
Right.
5 hours, which I think at one point in time, the wait time we looked in was like 160 minutes.
Yeah, we saw that.
So that
yeah.
that's pretty long. So you can jump in line and just wait. Or the other thing you can do is now you can buy a pass
Right.
for one ride. And I believe it was $11. Is that correct?
For Rise?
I'm not sure if it was for Rise.
No, I think Rise was 15.
15. I think it was $11 for Mine Car, Seven Doors Mine Car.
Okay,
train.
okay.
We did not choose to do that.
No, we didn't pay for any kind of
No, we didn't pay for any of
individual
the
Lightning Lane attraction.
No,
prices
not at
and
all. A friend of mine was down over Thanksgiving, and they hadn't ridden the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train as long as they'd been going since it'd been open, and they've never had the opportunity to ride it because the line was always too long or it was broken down,
Yeah.
and so they just said, "Forget it, we're buying it." And so I think she said they paid $11 to ride it,
Right.
which that's where I kind of draw the line at my money. Is like, no. But I did like the boarding groups. It cut down on your wait time, and
Yeah, you knew when to kind of go back.
yeah, and they sent you like push notifications, so
Yes.
it was good. So Rise no longer has boarding groups, but Remy's Ratatouille ride does have boarding groups now.
Right.
So, and I don't know, I think because Rise of the Resistance, I was so hyped to ride that I was just like reading everything I could about the boarding groups. And then for Remy, I was like, whatever. And we got a boarding group without any problem.
It was easy. It was much easier than Rise ever was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I said no. You did that.
I don't even recall having a problem. I think I just hit the thing and it was there, and I took it right away. And,
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think that was as challenging as Rise used to be, at least for us during this trip. Mm-hmm. Or at least on that
it
day.
wasn't. I don't know if we just got lucky or just what, or maybe it's not quite as popular. I don't know, but should be popular. It was a darling ride.
And I will say, if you're going to use the Disney Plus service and you're going to be booking things on the app, before you go, make sure everybody that you're going to be booking, you can see in the app. You're all hooked together as friends and family, and you're able to make plans for those other people.
Correct.
Because I checked on that. I actually called Disney technical services, technical support to make sure they saw it there that we were good to go. Because you don't want to be 6:55 getting ready and 7 a.m. hits.
Yeah.
Hit the button and all of a sudden 2 people from your party aren't on there. So.
Right. Exactly. My sister went, but we did not have her connected this time.
Right.
And that was because she decided to kind of go at the last minute.
Yes.
And we already had our park reservations, and she was not able to get park reservations with us for 2 of the days. So we were with her 2 of the days. 2 of the days we were not, although we met up with her because we park hopped and met up with her in the evening. So that was good. But if we decided to do something like that, we would just do it together and say, okay, we're lightning lane for this. And we would be on our phones at the same time, and you would get the same, or within a 5-minute period or so, get the same lightning lane time.
Correct.
So that worked out okay for us. But that's the only way I would not want everybody to be together, is if you didn't have park reservations together, because that could get confusing.
Yes.
And you don't want someone making reservations for you and then you're not able to use them.
Correct.
So we kept that separate, but that was okay otherwise. So, but that worked out really well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we did, like in the evening at Hollywood Studios, we did standby for Toy Story, and it was like Toy Story Mania because it was like 40 minutes. I don't know that we did, I can't think of any, we did standby for Star Tours, which you and I did not ride, but the kids did.
Oh, yeah, I rode it once, yes.
Oh, you did ride it.
The wait was like 10 minutes.
Yes.
Or 5 minutes. It was 5 or 10 minutes.
Yes.
It was low, so I gave it a shot,
I don't
and that's
think,
what it was.
Honestly, I think almost everything we did was lightning lane. There was...
A lot was, yes.
A lot was. Living with the Land, we did standby, but that was not very long.
Right.
And anything else that we did standby was not very long. But we used our lightning lane passes really, really smart.
Yes, we did.
And I think... that's kind of how you had to do it. I don't know, like with the old Fast Pass system, you could make 3 reservations per day, and they had like their headliners, and then, you could choose 1 from the headliner group and 2 from the not headliner group. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
So I don't know. I do kind of like being able to do lightning lane the way the very first Fast Pass system came out, where you actually went to the kiosk, you got your Fast Passes, and then 2 hours later you could, or if you used them, or 2 hours later you could get another one. I think lightning lane incorporates some of that.
Yes.
So you kind of don't, I like not really having those reservations, like you have to be here at this time, whatever. And you make those reservations before you even leave your house. So I liked making the lightning lanes day of. Everybody was making them day of. And I think that worked out best for us.
It did. And I'll say the app worked for us most of the time very smoothly.
Yes.
Like it was pretty crystal clear what you could do and what you couldn't do. Because I remember we had made lightning lanes, and I don't remember what it was for everybody. And I think that's when you weren't feeling well, so we bailed.
Yes.
So the kids went on, they used theirs, and we had to end up canceling ours, so later we could do something else.
Right.
Because it won't let you do something else while you have those 2.
Right.
So I'd actually go in and just cancel ours, which was a piece of cake, and then we were able to go on about the day. But
right.
So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward in the app for now, but I've heard of times when it could get wonky, and I think it all depends on processing power and who's doing what.
Yeah, I think I didn't hear you say anything like, oh,
no,
I can't do this or I didn't do that. So.
And one other thing to maybe be aware of with the whole Genie lightning lane system, you can use it while you're park hopping. So I could make a lightning lanes in Epcot while we were at the Magic Kingdom.
Yes, exactly. So like if we were getting ready to leave, we could see what was available at Epcot or Hollywood Studios, which when we were leaving Animal Kingdom, we did a couple there. So
I'm trying to think. Is that how I think that's how we did Soarin'.
I think so.
I think I had made Soren while we were in.
Yes.
It was a Magic Kingdom. We were in a different park, and I had made
Yes.
that. And I'm like, well, this is kind of fantastic.
Yes.
So
Is there a lightning lane for Mickey's Runaway Railway? I can't
not
remember if
sure.
there
I'm
is or
not
there
sure.
not It just never seemed to fit into our time.
No, it
when we
didn't.
go. Which, for us, we rode it in March. It was really cute. Stephen and Emily didn't get a chance to ride it, but hopefully they'll go again and they'll get a chance to ride.
Well, it sounds like they're thinking of going during Food and Wine next year.
I think so. I wish we could go.
Well, maybe we'll tag along.
So, Family Moon Part 2.
we got time to figure something out. Because we need to eat more food around World Showcase.
We do.
Now, this time we went there. I probably should have talked about this during the
I finally got
show.
my funnel cake, though.
You did get your funnel
After
cake.
like 3 or 4 tries of being there, I never get my funnel cake. I finally got my funnel cake, and it was really good. It was delicious. I just had your basic plain funnel cake, but I think next time I might try it with a topping or something.
Oh, yeah. That
So,
was a win. That was a win.
It was so fresh and so light. It was definitely better than your standard county fair funnel cake.
Oh, yeah. I should have talked about this while we were maybe doing the review show with Stephen and Emily. It was the last day of the trip, and we were going back to Epcot to do some things, and we thought we'd get some food. And
Right.
that day it wasn't cold, but it was about 5 degrees cooler than we would like comfort-wise.
Yes.
And it was drizzly.
Ugh,
Like, it wasn't even rain, and it wasn't even light rain.
No, it was just a misty.
It was misty, and it was just uncomfortable enough that I really wasn't hungry, or I didn't want to sample other
That's
food
exactly
or wait
like
in
you
line.
just didn't want to wait in line and get food and then find a place outside to sit and watch the drizzle in your food.
Yeah, I mean, everything was beautiful. I mean, everything was beautiful. Everything was lit up. Mm-hmm. And the food looked good. I'm like, I'm not comfortable just standing in line. I needed 5 more degrees, or I needed there to be no drizzle, or both.
Right, exactly.
And it would have been fantastic.
But the one thing we did when we went back to Epcot that I really, truly enjoyed was living with the land at night. At
Yes.
Christmas, all lit up.
That was fantastic.
Do they not usually decorate like that, or have we just missed it before?
I wonder if like the last couple of times we were there at Christmas, we might not have done it at night, or it was just new this year.
But I don't remember them having lights. I don't know.
Maybe it was
Maybe
just
they
the
did.
this year thing.
I don't know. But it
remember.
was beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it.
It was one of my favorite things,
Yeah.
holiday-wise, that we did.
Yep. And so we closed Epcot because that was our last day and we didn't want to leave, but we were done. So, like Steven said, he got the Mongolian beef a second time. We decided we wanted that as well. Here's a tip.
This is a good tip.
Don't ask for takeout. They don't do takeout.
They think they do.
They don't do takeout well.
No, they think they do it.
Exactly. So we just wanted to get it and go back to the room. Seating area was closed. They had it roped off. They didn't want anyone else to sit there.
They closed at 10, right? It was like 9:57 or something.
No, the Epcot closed at 10, but the food place, the Seasons food place closed at 9.
Ah.
And you and I were done. We had done everything we needed to do. So, but we were hungry because we hadn't had dinner. So I really wanted the Mongolian beef again because it's just delicious. So we asked for takeout. And he says, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. We can do that. Now, when you go to get takeout at like the food courts, they have these wonderful little boxes that are very
Yes.
strong, very sturdy. Put all your stuff in. It's great. That's not what they had.
No.
They had basically a paper plate and they put a plastic dome on it,
Right.
which were you taking it and going to eat it in the next 5 minutes? Probably would have been fabulous.
Yes.
But they did put it in a bag for us. So we had 2 of these paper plates and these plastic domes in a plastic bag.
With a cheesecake and a
Oh, yeah, cheesecake.
chocolate mousse or something
yes.
like that. I don't remember.
Yes, we got dessert as well. So we're going from the Land Pavilion. We walked to the Skyliner, took the Skyliner back to Pop, and then Pop back from the Skyliner back to our room. It was probably half an hour at least, maybe a little bit longer.
Oh, about, yeah.
So about a half an hour. By the time we got back to our room, those plates were a soggy mess because they were
Yes.
paper plates.
Paper plates.
Oh my goodness. Thank goodness for the plastic bag because it caught most of the stuff that fell out of the paper plates
Yes.
and dripped everywhere, and it was awful. But the good news was the plastic domes did not have any kind of vent holes for steam in them.
You were brilliant with this, by the way.
So we just turned the paper plates over into the little plastic dome and ate it that
all
way.
that.
It was still delicious. And it was hot. It was still hot. I was kind of
Yeah,
surprised.
it was
still
actually.
hot. So, but that's okay. That was good.
It was very good. That was a good call.
Yeah.
Even better call was you getting the cheesecake. Was it strawberry cheesecake or strawberry?
It wasn't strawberry cheesecake. It was strawberry shortcake.
Shortcake. That's what it was.
That's what I got. That was
and I got
very,
some
very
kind
good.
of chocolate mousse thing that was perfect topper after that little
Yeah.
bit of a spicy.
Yeah. So here's some of the things that I'd like to see come back.
Okay.
That they've taken their COVID, and they should absolutely have taken all the precautions that they have taken so far.
Absolutely.
But, and not that we're not still in the middle of COVID, we are. But some of these things need to come back, because it doesn't make sense that now you no longer have to be 6 feet away when you're waiting in a queue.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's an outside queue, you don't even have to have a mask.
Right.
So why can't I have my room made up every day? I want my room. I want my bed
Right.
made. I'm on vacation. I don't want to come back to a room that has towels that don't dry because there's just not good ventilations in the room. I don't want to come back to a bed that's not made, because I make my bed every morning. And yeah, I could make my bed down there, but I'm on vacation. I want someone to do that for me.
Yeah, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine.
It
like
is.
people say, you don't use clean towels every day at home. You don't, change your sheets every day at home. I'm like, listen, I'm on what we call vacation.
Right.
There are certain things that for decades people have kind of expected on vacation. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how I want to be treated on vacation.
Absolutely. I don't necessarily mind that they don't change the sheets every day.
True.
Just make my bed.
But
I want it to be nice and crisp, like when I walk into the room for the very first time.
Yeah, and I think they're doing it every couple of days, because you're on vacation and not everybody showers
Not every
before
couple
they
days,
go to bed.
every 4 nights.
Oh, that's too much.
That's not, and they'll do trash and towel service. I'm not sure how often, every other day or so.
Oh, are we going Disney Vacation Club or regular?
No, what we got at Pop Century.
Oh, yeah, well.
Every other day they would do towels and trash service, but every 4th day they would do the sheets.
And that's too long, because you get people swimming
And sweaty.
and park stuff and sunscreen and
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I want my sheets done more often than that. So we did call down and request it, and it didn't sound like it was going to happen.
It didn't. I was like, I asked, I wouldn't expect it.
Exactly, but we came back for something to change, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We left. When we came back that night, it had been done.
It did. It was done.
So I
So
left that.
points for that.
I left that mousekeeper a nice little tip the
Yes,
next
we
day,
did.
and I did put a thank you for changing my sheets, because I really truly appreciated it.
Because people got to remember, you weren't feeling well, so you were in the bed quite a bit.
Right,
there
I was
for a
in that
while.
bed quite a bit because I didn't feel well. But anyway, then the very next day we should have had sheets and everything done, and it still was done.
Right.
So, and we did leave a nice little tip both days.
Again, yeah.
Because it was just very, very much appreciated. So I think if they can cram people in with no masks in line, give them the N95s if the mousekeepers want those, and get them in there to clean. Give them gloves, the personal protection, equipment that they need, because we're paying. We paid holiday prices. That was our choice.
Right.
But still, there should be a level of service there when you're paying those kind of prices.
Absolutely.
So, and even if you're not, even if, this is your one and done Disney thing, you should get premium service, because that's what was come to be expected from the Disney company.
Right.
And I'm sad that that's not there. The other thing that made a comeback, thankfully, the Sunday we were there, and only at the Magic Kingdom, were the trams from the parking lot to the Ticket and Transportation Center.
Yes.
Thank goodness, because we would have had to take a bus, because my feet don't have it in them to walk that far.
Right. Walk that far, walk under the bridge, back up from the bridge.
Exactly. That's just,
And then back at the end of a long day.
yeah, that wasn't going to happen for me.
I don't know how.
I don't know
Disney
how
wasn't-
people did it, because they did do it.
They did do it. I don't know how Disney had the goal to charge full price for the parking when they were running around with a tram.
For sure. But
come
hey,
on.
COVID-tunity, baby.
Yeah, there you go. One of my favorite words this year.
But I hope, it's not as bad like, for Hollywood Studios and Epcot, like I said, we were at Pop, so we did the Skyliner, so we didn't have to drive.
Mm-hmm.
But in March, we did drive, because we were leaving from Hollywood Studios to go home.
Right.
So we drove there. So their parking lot is essentially right next to the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not too bad. we can do that. Same with Epcot. While their parking lot is big, if you get there first thing in the morning, the walk isn't that bad because we have often walked from the parking lot to the front of Epcot because it's not terribly big.
Yes.
We did walk from Animal Kingdom, which I don't know why they were parking out in practically the furthest lot for the morning people.
Oh, that's another pet
I was
peeve of
like,
mine.
what were they doing? Like, why were they parking like that? I don't understand it, but I'm sure whatever.
I think it's because they want to make sure they get money out of every car that's going into their park. Because remember back in the day, you'd show up at 6 p.m., maybe 7 p.m.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be anybody at the gate. You just drive on in because they weren't taking money or anything. And there wasn't anybody parking cars, so you could kind of pull up relatively comfortably until you saw a blank spot, pull in there, and you were good. Now they're parking you out in, Double Villain West.
Yeah.
Out wherever they can get you, and now you're walking terribly far, and it's like, oh.
I'm sure they're still having the same issues that a lot of companies are having, is having enough staff and enough people to do the things that they need.
Well.
How about this? Retrain the parking people that after 4 p.m., go clean my hotel room.
I was going to say, you don't need parking people after 4 p.m.
People can figure out how to park, run the trams, but you don't need, and there's 3 of them that are parking, 3 or 4 people that are parking the cars. It's not like it's just one person, which I suppose you probably need more than that.
Yeah.
But just going down a lane, there's a minimum of 3 people.
Right.
So I don't necessarily know that they need that. So they need to reappoint the people, somewhere. Oh, and the other thing that just about sent me over the edge.
Oh my.
Was they have all these hand sanitizing stations everywhere. They have all these soap dispensers in the restrooms, and they're mostly empty.
Yes.
That's a travesty. I'm sorry. I had to ask, we got off of Smuggler's Run, and, of course, you're touching everything. So I wanted to sanitize my hands. The hand sanitizer, when you get off the ride, totally empty.
Yep.
And so we went around, because I remember seeing one when we went into Smuggler's Run. And so I went around the corner, and the cast member was kind of standing in front of it. And I said, can I sanitize my hands? And she's very nice. Like, oh, yeah, fine, go ahead. So I would usually get 2 of them and then slap it around to everybody. But I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I found that kind of odd.
There was, I found more than one empty hand
parks.
sanitizer, multiple parks. And then same with trying to get soap. Take the parking lot attendants and have that be their job. Refill the soap dispensers, refill the hand sanitizers. Yeah. That's where it's needed.
Right.
I can park a car. So, I don't know. That's my pet peeve for that. But they need to step it up. If they're going to charge those prices, they need to step up their game and give me a little bit more service.
There you go.
So, not that I wouldn't be back, but
I know.
There's my irritation for the day. So, but, I suppose in the grand scheme of things, we had an amazing vacation.
It was a fantastic 4 park days.
It really truly was. Even with my vertigo, which I know how to manage. I have all the exercises for it. I've been to physical therapy for it. And, I was doing all the things that I needed to do. And I think that's probably why it finally went away. But,
just bad timing.
It was really bad timing for that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Ugh.
So, and then there was my sister who, the night we arrived, they took an early morning flight. So they had been there all day. And we get there and I'm texting with her, we're here. She's like, you need to stop at Walgreens. I need this and that and whatever. And she asked me to get a rapid COVID test for her because she said she was so sick she couldn't believe it. And so I got her that and a couple other things she needed. And met up with her son to give it to her, whatever. And, thankfully they have those home rapid COVID because she was negative. And she just had one heck of a cold, a sinus thing that came on her pretty fast and it left her pretty fast. But it is nice to know that, because she said she wouldn't want to be irresponsible and be in the parks with, anything like that. So thankfully, we had a car and we were able to stop and get that for her.
Yeah. One of the benefits of the car, having the car.
So, and she just took cold medicine and she was good. And I think by Saturday night.
Yeah, she was fine.
All of a sudden she's like, I feel great. I think I can go. Well, that's when my vertigo kicked in. I was like, dang. Other than that, but the kids we told the kids go do their thing. They're adults.
Oh, yeah.
And the bonus to that was Mackenzie got to spend a lot of time with Stephen and Emily, and she said she really, really loved that.
Plus, she had to be with them to tell them where they were.
This is true. And then she spent quite a bit of time with my sister and her 2 kids. And she just said she just had an absolute blast, which I'm glad because I wouldn't have wanted her sitting in the room with us,
Yes.
when I couldn't go. She loves Disney. She is a true Disney girl. And she just needed to be out doing her thing. And I wouldn't have wanted her doing her thing on her own.
Oh, well.
So I was glad she had people to be with and
Yep.
do her thing. And she knew how to use her magic band with the PIN number.
Yeah, she did.
No worries there, which is really nice because then you don't have to worry about, your kid carrying around cash or anything.
Right, here's my
Just
card,
scan
don't
your
lose
magic
it,
band,
just-
here's the 4 digits, go.
Scan and go.
Yep.
Just scan and go.
So that was good. But it was a good trip.
It was a fantastic trip.
I'm ready to go back. And
Now, question, when do we go back? During Flower and Garden or during Food and Wine?
hey, look, buddy, I'm the one that has vacation. You're the one that can't get vacation. And big shout out to his scheduler and his boss for making our March and our December vacations happen.
Yeah, we had to do a little juggling to make that.
Yeah, we had to do a lot of juggling with your vacation
But
time.
it worked out.
So
thank goodness.
we do appreciate your work being really, really flexible with your schedule.
Yeah, we do.
So that's it.
Awesome.
Because I had the time off. I don't know about you.
I need a little more lead time.
Good time.
Those are our thoughts. So
Yep. Any questions about Lightning Lane?
let us know.
Because it's new, it's different, but if you didn't have to pay for it, it'd be a really good thing. It's a really good thing, even if you have to pay for it, if you can
It just irks
swing
me.
it. It does. It makes me angry.
Yeah.
So hopefully maybe get some different people up in upper management, make some good decisions for the company. And it's always not about the bottom line, the bottom dollar. It's about the people who have made Disney World what it is. Because without the guests, you're nothing.
There you go. Boom.
Yep.
Truth bomb. Just
There
dropped.
you go. Mic drop.
Thanks again for joining me on the show. Always love it.
I do too.
Me too. Tim Scott, Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. If you're thinking of going to Florida and moving there, our good friend Victor Naraki at DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com will be happy to talk to you and steer you the right direction. Everybody, you've been listening to the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote or for more information visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.